Hello, this is David Jenkins, La Plata Town Council member from Ward 4. I will be your host for this podcast titled La Plata Ward 4 Update, providing updates about the La Plata Town Council meetings, issues affecting you as residents, and other related activities. I've also started a La Plata Ward 4 video update, which are short videos about specific projects and issues, and have been posted to my Facebook page, facebook.com/djenkinslp Town Council Ward 4 /. These videos are also posted to the app or the website called Nextdoor, www.nextdoor.com//newsfeed. A little background: the Town Council has their work sessions each month on the second and third Tuesday, and then we have our business meeting on the fourth Tuesday. All meetings start at 6 p.m., and now the Town Council work sessions and business meetings are now hybrid. That is, you can attend in person or virtually. Each agenda provides a link to attend virtually using the Microsoft Teams platform. Meeting agendas can be accessed to the town website, www.townlaplata.org. And please note, all meetings are recorded, so you can view them later at your leisure. So now let's get started with our latest update. Hi, and welcome again to this latest episode of La Plata Ward 4 Update Podcast. This is David Jenkins, La Plata Town Council member from Ward 4, and your host for this podcast, as well as the companion La Plata Ward 4 Update video, which is now on YouTube. This is the next podcast in a series about growth in and adjacent to La Plata and the impact on our infrastructure. The first podcast in this series was called La Plata Development, and it was posted on July the 6th. Subsequent podcasts will talk about La Plata's infrastructure, water, sewer, stormwater management, and ongoing town actions to improve and expand these services. The source of these podcast information is from our La Plata's Director of Operations and his staff, who operate and maintain these facilities and services. Please note, these are enterprise funds. That is, they are funded through user fees as well as from state and federal grants and loans. So let's get started on this next podcast, which is about La Plata's public water system. Based on environmental regulations from the Maryland Department of the Environment, MDE, they issue a requirement that the operator of a public water system must adopt a water supply capacity management plan and submit certain reports which flow through the system when it reaches 80% of our water appropriation permit. That is our groundwater appropriation permit. According to this plan, the average daily consumption in La Plata during 2019 was 878,300 gallons, or 76.7% of its permitted withdrawal based upon our current groundwater appropriation permit, which again is issued by the Maryland Department of the Environment. The town had already applied to increase this appropriation, but the state, through the Maryland Department of the Environment, has some concerns about the ability of the aquifer entitled or called the Lower Patapsco Aquifer to provide enough water to support anticipated growth in both Charles County and La Plata. Now, please note that La Plata has a potential for more than doubling our current population during the next 15 to 20 years. And so this plan for increased groundwater appropriation permit and that request is intended to ensure that there will be enough adequate potable or drinking water when it is needed. Let's go back a little bit and note that the La Plata water system was built in 1927. That original system was designed to serve a population of less than 1,000 people, and it included one elevated storage tank with a capacity of 75,000 gallons and 2 production wells. The distribution system to distribute the water to the town at that time had fire hydrants throughout that current built-out area of the town. The water system, as it was constructed, served the entire town, and obviously and subsequently has been expanded as needed to continue to serve the entire town as our borders have been extended and expanded. However, as this current system or the old system deteriorated, both of the original wells were abandoned, and an elevated water tank that was in place was lost during the tornado in April of 2000. So over the years, the water system has been expanded to now serve a population of more than 10,000 people. In addition to the current 5 production wells, the water system has 3 elevated storage tanks, which are distributed throughout the town, which have a combined capacity of 1.3 million gallons. Now, these tanks you can see in the town, which have been recently repainted, include the Rosewick elevated tank with 250,000 gallons, one at Wells Park with 300,000 gallons, and one located near the Dorchester community at the end of Kent Avenue, which has approximately 300,000 gallons. Now, our current system also includes 750,000-gallon groundwater tank with 2 750 gallons per minute GPM booster pumps that provide additional flow and pressure to the northeast quadrant of the town. Please note that the water system has approximately 40 miles of water mains and 26 pumping stations. Now, all of the expansion that has taken place is consistent with the town's 2020 comprehensive plan and the Charles County Water and Sewer Comprehensive Plan. The system also is in compliance and meets all the regulations as imposed by the Safe Water Drinking Act. As you probably realize, there are several major housing developments on or near construction or in the planning phases within the current town boundary at the present time. Population projections indicate that the town will need to supply approximately 2.5 million gallons per day, MGD, when this total build-out has been completed, estimated to be around the year 2030. Now, as the water system is now constituted, the town can supply up to 2 million gallons per day, but the maximum permitted by the town's groundwater appropriation permit from the state will have to be increased to meet this new production capability that MDE has permitted and the town has provided. 2 more elevated storage tanks may eventually be needed to provide adequate reserve and maintain pressure as the town continues to grow. The environmental article of the Annotated Code of Maryland makes it clear that the town of La Plata must ensure that adequate water supply capacity is or will be available before issuing any building permit or approving subdivision plats, residential subdivision plats, and or commercial plats. La Plata's current groundwater appropriation permits allows the town to withdraw an average of 1.2 million gallons per day from 2 aquifers, and the current average withdrawal is 1.8 million gallons per day during the month of the highest usage. Even though the average usage is less than the 1 million gallons that MDE mandated through our enhanced nutrient removal upgrade to the water plant in 2011, the town has requested an increase in our appropriation permit to 2 million gallons to serve the anticipated growth. Now, initially, the Maryland Department of the Environment agreed, that the town needed to increase this permit and implied that the change would be available when we needed it. At the same time, the developer of Rosewick Crossing, which is a commercial residential project on the south side of Rosewick Road, opposite the current Lowe's, had agreed to provide a new well and elevated storage tank to serve anticipated development in the northern section of the town. Those facilities are now in place today. So the Maryland Department of Environment permitted these upgrades, but unfortunately, when they were completed, they did not increase our groundwater appropriation permit to make use of this additional capacity that the town had provided at the cost of $3 million. I believe also part of that was paid for by the developer of the Rosewick project. So the town has been attempting to increase our groundwater appropriation permit for more than 20 years. Unfortunately, the state's response has been until recent times that it wasn't needed. During that time, the appropriation permit assigned to Charles County was increased to allow additional withdrawal from the lower Patapsco aquifer, but the state has refused to increase La Plata's permitted capacity. So in response to that, the town will continue to pursue that additional groundwater appropriation permit, but also we've made effort to conserve water and the average daily consumption, and it is still below 1 million gallons per day. So those devices or conservation measures are still working today. Now, the town has also installed a monitor to monitor water production and distribution to ensure that the best quality of water and its reliability is provided to our users here in the town. That is you, the taxpayers. Now, the state's response to the Plata's request for an increased allocation from the lower Patapsco aquifer unfortunately will not support any increase at this time. However, the town will have to work with the county to purchase additional water from the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, WSSC, whatever is required over and above the town's existing groundwater appropriation permit. Plans are underway for the town to connect to the Charles County water system through a 12-inch water main that would connect to the St. Charles community just along St. Charles Parkway. Now, Charles County currently supplies water through a standalone system to certain communities outside and south of the town boundary, including along Route 6 east of La Plata in the Ellenwood community, and further south in the Belle Lawton area to Chapel Point Woods. So the town has been meeting and negotiating for a number of years to connect with the county, to connect these communities either to the county system or the town water system to improve water quality and to eliminate any contaminants. So the town has and will continue to work with Charles County and the Maryland Department of the Environment to make this part of the proposed interconnection between the town and the county, and as well for the state to approve the town's long-standing water appropriation permit request to increase the withdrawal. So again, this is only a brief summary of the current status and the town's effort to expand the town's water system to meet existing and future demands. I will provide additional references in the notes. And again, this information is from the town of La Plata and our director of operations. You can certainly reach out to them or go to the website for additional information. So my next podcast in this series will be about the town's water system. So again, I appreciate and thank you for listening and also watching my videos. Please email me at djenkins@townoflaplata.org with any questions or comments regarding this or other podcasts or issues. Thanks again and enjoy the summer. This concludes the latest La Plata Town Council Ward 4 update. I hope you find this podcast informative and useful. So let me know what you think. I look forward to speaking to you again and listening to your questions and concerns. To reach me, my email address is djenkins@townoflaplata.org or my cell phone number is 301-263-3471. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.